You shall not pass.
Well, it's my chest day today, so this is a little stretch I do. I used to do it with a broomstick at home. Now that I have elastic bands at the gym, I use them too, but a good warm up for the shoulders. You just keep your elbows straight and pass your arms over your head and behind your back. And then right about here is where you're gonna get the deepest stretch in part of your biceps and chest, which is very, very good on a chest day. If you stay too tight in the chest, it makes it really hard to actually activate the chest. And then people who do barbell squats, if you can't get your arms behind you to actually rack the bar comfortably, you likely have some tight shoulders. So this can help with shoulder mobility and shoulder health. A lot of us sit at a desk and hunch, or we're looking at our phones a lot all day. This sort of kyphotic posture is terrible for you. So this is an exercise and movement where you have to pull your shoulder blades back in order to pass your arms over your head comfortably. So it activates the upper back slightly, and you're moving through a range of motion. So it's kind of like a dynamic warm up. If you do these enough, you'll start to feel them in your rear delts. And then here's one more thing about these they're good for posture, they're good for mobility and warming up. Oh yeah, I used to have shoulder impingements from football. I'd take like hits in the shoulder or just blocking and stuff, and you'll get tight muscles in the shoulders that impinge your ability to move and use your arm completely. So it used to be like, for me when I played football, if I put my arm up like this, my front delt would just start twitching. And that came from the impingement. The pressure on the nerves was creating dysfunction in the shoulder. So I've always done these to just warm the shoulders up. I'm not doing a static stretch. I'm not trying to loosen the shoulder, but I am trying to warm it up a bit. And then today, I'm going to do my paused incline barbell presses. I have some sort of chest press. I forget what it was. And then I have an overhead press with the barbell. I'm doing it standing since everyone is so adamant about me doing a standing overhead press. So all of these are going to require some good shoulder mobility. So with that in mind, I thought I'd do this broomstick stretch, and time to get rolling on this shoulder day. It's a chest day, it's a push day, whatever the hell you want to call it, really, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go push on weights, and today, build a chest, build the front delt, the triceps, and the side delts. So I'll do 3 or 4 exercises for chest and shoulders this morning. It's 12 o'clock, so midday. And later this evening, around 5 or 6 p.m., right before I leave work, I do one more workout. I'm gonna do a lot of lateral raises and tricep extensions, overhead tricep presses for the triceps at different angles. And that's really it. So workout number 1. I'd like to record the second half of the workout, but unfortunately, that's when the gym's the most busy, and I do feel like I'm a bit of a nuisance setting a tripod up. It makes me feel like weird. So these middays and mornings, there's a lot less people here, and they're all pretty cool about it. So let's go roll along on this chest, shoulder, tricep day. I'm gonna try a cue someone gave me on my last time I did these last week. They said for me to keep my rib cage down. I've always kind of arched my chest up on presses, but during my warm-ups, that rib cage down cue that was suggested, I think it was, the guy's name was like at Disney Channel, almost like Disney, but with a B. And he cued me to keep my rib cage down. And I think by doing that, when you're arching up, it kind of actually makes it harder for you to use your chest, because as soon as I brought the rib cage down and pressed, I felt the top half of my chest contracting more. I tried to learn a lot on how to lift growing up by watching other bodybuilders do their videos, and you can watch how different people contract their muscle based on their technique and their form. You'll notice guys have big chests. They tend to have an easier time contracting their chest. You can see how their shoulders stay in place. And you'll see the guy with the bird chest and really dominant front delts. They tend to have a hard time on like pec flies, for instance, where their shoulders were caving. I watched a video with two guys, and one guy had huge shoulders, one had a huge chest, and you could see the very slight variation in the technique. And it's likely why so many years later, one muscle is more developed than the other. But we'll see how this feels. It's probably going to be hard for me to do this. We'll see what happens. All right, so this is rib cage up, this is rib cage down. That felt really good. So at Disney Channel, I thank you for the suggestion on that cue. I got my first set of 8. Try to get 2 more sets with this weight. If it feels like I'm not going to get 8 good reps or close to it, I'll lower the weight like I did last time, just so I can focus on the muscle and not just on if I can keep 2 plates on the bar. 3 minutes later, it's time for another set. Once again, just like most of my other workouts, I take 3-minute rest periods on my big compound movement for that muscle group, and then the rest of the workout, I kind of pick up the pace. All right, again, this is high rib cage, this is down, and I think I just have to keep my abs flexed the whole time. The only way I can keep myself from picking my rib cage up. Ugh, come on, you got another. Yeah. Woo! All right, so I got to do this, and then I'm going to peel the weight off and do a drop set. And let's see if last week I can beat my last week's effort. All right, chest down, no arch. Trying to be like Miss Frizzle on the Magic School Bus. Ugh. Oh, shit. And then peel off the weight. You know, I always wondered about Miss Frizzle. She's literally like kidnapping children for a whole school day, and no one ever noticed. And then, little do you know, she's flying around in one of her students' assholes, looking at organs and shit. Ugh. All right, at Disney Channel, man, I really suggest I really appreciate the suggestion of chest down. That honestly did work out. I was kind of apprehensive about listening to someone on YouTube comments telling me what to do, but I stayed open-minded, and appreciate you for that. So last week I did 135 for 9. That's more than 8, so I'm going to put a 5 on each side and attempt to do something impressive. Makes me think of the Incredibles scene. He's like, "What are you waiting for?" He's like, "Something amazing, I guess." It's like, "Me too, kid. Me too." Well, let's see if we can do something amazing here with time. I usually wouldn't make this big of a jump, but I know I'm going to be better at it this week just because I've already had practice at it. But from there forward, the progressions need to be more calculated and careful. Otherwise, I might start putting myself in a position where I'm prioritizing weight and not the quality of the training, which is what matters most because I'm trying to grow muscles. So I grab about a thumb's width from the edge of the knurling to get an even hand spacing. And I stand with one leg back just for balance. And then from here, oh, this feels like butter today. 12. Suck it. Not that anyone told me to try harder, but 12. I'm gonna do a minute rest period. Try to get like 9 and then like 6. I usually lose 3 reps if I take only a minute's rest, so I try to get more, but for some reason there's like this magical barrier at 1 minute rest. I always lose 3 reps. So just gonna wait and I'll be right back. 1 minute later. 1 minute later. Come on, Gary needs a new pair of shoes. All right, well, I lost 5 reps, so even worse, but that's okay. 7 there. Empty the tank on this last set. 1 more minute from now. Changing up the angles, so I got 1 set left. I go ask one of my asshole gym members to put his weights away. Fucker left it on the machine. Come on, I want 5. That last one was shaky. All right, well, fast improving. This is great. So I did 12, 7, 6. So that's 25 reps in total. I'm going to add weight again next week and try to get 20 reps total. And I'll progress that one to 25 before I add weight again.